Hello, students. I hope that the text was not too hard for you to try and decipher, and I hope that you got some great main ideas out of it and were able to come up with some questions that would allow you to do further research on this topic or topics within our text. So let's get started by looking at our concept map and looking at the first main idea that I have come up with, which is buildings in the West are more modern than those in the East. In the West, life was much more up to date and much more comfortable. So, as you notice here, in the West, we have skyscraper like buildings. It looks modern, it looks sleek. Whereas here, if we go over to the East, we have buildings that are kind of, run down, they look old. It kind of just looks like an oppressive place. Yes, it was because remember, communist government, so we kind of have this oppressive idea of, like we're in control, we built a wall, so, it kind of just shows who was in power there. And then also remember that in the West, they were having this economic boom, and the West German economy was just on such a great upward path that it was really benefiting from the Marshall Plan that we've discussed in class. Looking at the second main idea that I've come up with is people living in East Berlin were not happy and were ready to reunite with family and friends in the West. This is because life in the East was not up to that of the West. So this is again the idea that life was different in the two parts of Berlin and in the two Germanys, East and West. And, here we see people lining up to run under the wall and from East Berlin, and they're coming towards their families and friends here in the West, or relatives, or just coming to come to freedom, in a sense, to what they knew before their lives were changed and Germany was divided. Then another main idea that I have is both East and West Berliners, East and West Germans in America wanted to see these citizens reunified into one nation. So looking deep into this picture, let's continue with our East Berlin citizens who are running over here. I mean, this is clear to me. They're all lined up. They're ready to run over. I mean, it's clear that they would rather be on the west part of Germany and Berlin. And this also shows me over here, seeing all the West Berliners lined up here. I mean, they're not lined up to then run over to the east when all the East Berliners are on the west side. No, they want to be reunified with their people, with their family, friends, with their fellow Germans. This kind of idea of, being a German nation. Because since the Germany became a country, since the unification of Germany is what I wanted to say, the first one, in 1871, we had this country that was, all these different sliced up parts that became the country of Germany. And so that's what these people knew. They wanted to go back to this normalcy, in a sense. And so that's really kind of just what sticks out to me about this picture. And that has led me to come up with some questions that maybe can help me better understand this picture slash text and help me to do further research into maybe why that is that it's like that, or maybe to broaden my perspective on something, or maybe to show me, hey, maybe I got something wrong here. Maybe what I was figuring was totally incorrect, but I'm learning something new along the way, which is always great because, as you know, you never stop learning. There's always something new to learn. So the two questions that I came up with are, what would it be like if our city had a wall down the middle of it. So imagine us, here in Denver. Imagine there being a wall that would split Denver into two pieces. It would be just, it'd be crazy, and then imagine there were two different governments in power. It would be just a totally different sense of just what was going on. We would just have a different, we would identify differently. I mean, we would be, imagine there was West Berliners, East Berliners. We would be, let's say it was East and West here in Denver. We would be West Denverites and East Denverites. I mean, that almost seems kind of like something you'd see in a movie. I mean, it just doesn't seem so realistic, but what I want you to remember is that this actually did happen. This is real. Yes, it didn't happen here in Denver, but imagine if it did happen here in Denver, as it did in Berlin, while the Berlin Wall was up. I mean, it's amazing. It's kind of mind blowing how much history can show us, as I always mention in class. The second question that I came up with is, what lengths did people go through to escape to West Berlin from East Berlin? Obviously, they didn't have the Statue of Liberty come and, once every month or once a year or every night come and lift up the wall and go, okay, well, only a select amount of people can go under. There's no way, because at the time there was, border guards along the wall here. There was ways to keep people in, and so how did people come across? That's kind of my question. I know the answer, but maybe that's a question that you might have. you know um if you look into it, it's quite fascinating, some of the creative ways that people from East Berlin decided to go over to the West, and they risked everything to better the lives of their families, and just kind of get back to a normalcy that they knew before being in a totally different, world altogether, in the sense that now here they are in East Berlin, which isn't what they knew before. So, kind of just some wrapping up closing thoughts on our text and our lesson today. I just want you to kind of take away the differences between West and East Berlin, that life in the East wasn't as great as the political figures who were in power at this time in the 1960s would have made you think. Remember, we have Nikita Khrushchev, the premier of the Soviet Union, and we have Walter Lübrecht, the premier kind of chancellor guy, of East Germany, who were kind of controlling what's going on in this country, in the country of East Germany and in the city of East Berlin. While in the West, remember, we had JFK with his famous speech, and we had Konrad Adenauer, who was the chancellor of West Germany and had control over West Berlin. It's, the differences can be clearly noted, and I hopefully you noticed them. I hope that maybe you also saw some things that I didn't point out in our concept map, because that would be great. That would show that, that you got maybe something that was even deeper hidden within this text. And I hope that you learned something from it, and that it sparks your interest for maybe further research as we continue along in our Berlin Wall unit, and as you begin to prepare for your final unit assignment, which would be in about 2 weeks, where we will be doing a mock political debate, and I will be splitting you up into groups, but more on that to come. And I just wanted to remind you that you if you haven't already, please, please, please write something up for our discussion, and where I pose a question, you write up a 2 to 3 sentence response to it. It's kind of a debate style thing, getting you prepared for our final assignment thing of the unit, the mock debate. And then what I would like you to do is look at what your classmates have written, and I would like you to respond to that in 2 to 3 sentences about what you thought is good, what you kind of disagree with, all of that. And I look forward to reading your comments. I look forward to continuing to, work on our Berlin Wall unit and what new understandings this unit will bring us. And thank you for following along with me. And I hope you got some useful information today. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good day.